Monster baby is what a mother heard about her son, and today he looks like this. When a mother named Joanne got pregnant with her second child, doctors told her he would be born with a facial disfigurement. However, it wasn't until she delivered Zach 14 weeks early that she saw how extreme his condition actually was. Zach Jacob Coates was born with the rarest form of cleft lip and palate known as Tessier type 4. The right side of his face was completely disfigured. He suffered cerebral bleeding and heart problems, is blind in his right eye, and has no cheekbones in the right side of his face, no nostrils, no lips, and no bottom eyelid. Doctors didn't know if Zach would survive his first few weeks at the hospital, but after 2 weeks, Joanne was finally able to take him home. Not only did Zach's condition mean potentially lifelong health issues, but the bullying became a common side effect of his facial disfigurement. Every day, Joanne watched people stare and point at Zach, and he was even branded a monster by complete strangers. But as Zach grew older, she realized he developed an unbelievable reaction to the cruelty he faced. Zach Jacob Coates was born 14 weeks earlier in his England hometown. His mother, Joanne, knew he had a facial disfigurement when she was pregnant with him, but she didn't know how severe it was until he was actually born. Joanne was stunned to discover the entire right side of Zach's face was disfigured. That's because the little boy was born with the rarest form of cleft lip and palate, Tessier type 4. Doctors said it was the worst case they'd ever seen. Weighing in at just 2 pounds, Zach was kept in an incubator until he was strong enough to go home with Joanne. He had no cheekbones in the right side of his face, no nostrils, no lips, and no bottom eyelid. Doctors told Joanne that if he did survive, he probably wouldn't be able to live a normal life. His health issues went beyond his facial disfigurement. With cerebral bleeding and heart problems, the next 4 months were touch and go. Despite the fact Joanne and Zach knew he would need many operations over the course of his life, and that he's blind in one eye, the little boy proved to be a fighter who never stopped smiling. Along with Zach's facial disfigurement has come a lot of unfortunate bullying. Joanne says people constantly stare and point at her son. He's even been branded a monster by strangers. Zach has good friends at school who have no problem defending him, but he doesn't necessarily need them to. This incredible child has learned how to deal with bullies in the most mature way. Whenever someone points or laughs, Zach smiles, approaches the bully and says, "I have a cleft lip and I'm blind in one eye. Why are you looking at me?" He also asks anyone interested if they like to know more about his condition. Today, Zach is 10 years old and has undergone at least 28 hours of surgery. Surpassing the doctor's expectations, he can eat, speak, and drink completely on his own. He dreams of one day becoming a historian. Joanne says his humor and confidence has contributed to his overall strength in both mind and body. Zach's medical staff has used bone grafts to help create a more symmetrical face shape. And get this, Zach absolutely loves hospitals and the medical staff who works with him. Joanne says this makes things much easier and more comfortable. I hope others who read his story can gain strength from his confidence and don't allow any cruel comments to hold them back, Joanne says. Another amazing story about a mom who saved her child who is called a monster. An Aussie mom, who was slammed by trolls for removing a port wine-stained birthmark from her baby's face, says she did it for the health of her child. Brooke Atkins, 33, gave birth to her second child, a baby boy named Kingsley, in January, and noticed half his face was covered by a birthmark. Port wine-stained birthmarks are usually harmless, but if they're over the eye as Kingsley's is, they can be linked with glaucoma and Sturge-Weber syndrome. The conditions can cause seizures and other disabilities, while glaucoma can cause blindness. Since the tot was diagnosed with both, the parents made the decision to get the laser treatment at the end of May. When he was first born, we were referred to the Queensland Children's Hospital Dermatology and Vascular Department, where they organized the first treatment and explained in further details why laser should be important, Atkins explained. The purpose of the laser treatments are not to remove the birthmark, but instead keep the skin healthy to prevent any further damage to the area. Although the laser treatment was in the best interest of her baby boy, TikTok critics have slammed the mom of two, labeling her a monster for giving her baby laser surgery. The mom, who also shares 2-year-old daughter Amarni with her partner Kawini Wallace, admits the negative comments made her question her decision. "Honestly, when I first started reading the negative comments, I sat there for a good half an hour and cried to myself," she said. "I had a whole heap of mom guilt and it made me question my decision. Even though I knew I was doing the right thing, the cruel words still played in my head." However, with more than 32,700 people following little Kingsley's journey on social media, supporters have plenty of positive comments as well on the mom's videos. According to Mayo Clinic, sometimes port wine stains occur with Klippel-Trenaunay syndrome or Sturge-Weber syndrome, which require regular medical evaluation. However, Atkins says Kingsley is thriving so far and responding well to the treatments, with the next laser appointment scheduled in August.